Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here, and Xur has arrived in his cave, and he is on Io over here in Giant Scar. So let's take a look at his inventory and see what he's got for the week. Just jumping right into it, we've got the Scout Rifle, Skyburner's Oath, kind of a unique one for fighting Cabal generally. The weapon lobs large explosive seeking slugs when you are firing from the hip, and when you aim down sights the slugs travel fast and straight with high damage and lower rate of fire. So this one got a tweak in all of their exotic pass kind of reworking going on. So now if you actually fire this thing from the hip, the slugs that you fire kind of have little, like, not explosions per se, but they actually kind of have a little oomph to them and weight, but they also do a little bit of tracking as well. So they are kind of cool if you're like firing at a target, but you're just kind of firing in the general area. You're still going to be generally hitting the enemy. Now, I wouldn't say this thing is awesome in PvP because there's quite a few things that just kind of outshine it right now, and scout rifles in general just have taken a big beating until they get the patch coming up here in a few weeks. But right now, scout rifle's not that great. Doesn't mean they won't get a buff to be good, but right now they're not amazing. Now, if you don't have this one, I might still add it to your collection because it still has some benefits if you're fighting Cabal and things like that. It's just kind of a fun, cool weapon to use. I wouldn't say it's like top on pretty much any meta right now. But for just a cool Cabal rifle, it's actually not so bad. The other piece is for the Empire. This weapon is full auto, does extra damage to Cabal, and penetrates Phalanx shield. So it's pretty much a full auto scout rifle, has little tracking shots when you're firing from the hip, so if you're not ADS, you can still actually get use out of your scout rifle, which is kind of rare. And then it just works very well against Cabal. So if there's anything you're fighting that is Cabal, giving you struggles, if you have a solar singe or something that week, it's not a horrible weapon, but again, scout rifles need a buff before this thing is really going to make actually being usable better than pretty much anything else. For our armor, we have the young Ahamkara spine. These are for the hunters, very specifically for trip mines. Increases trip mine duration and blast radius. Ability damage grants trip mine energy. So if you throw a trip mine, it lasts longer. They are, I think, a little bit harder to kill, and also if you get damage with the trip mine, you will get some grenade energy back, so you can throw them more frequently. I wish these were a little more subtle in PvP, just because they are pretty telegraphed if they're out there. You're either going to shoot them or not walk through it. It's not typically something where you can use it and stick it on anybody anymore. They're not sticky to Guardians. They will just fall to the ground and then detonate, which isn't always a guaranteed kill anyway. So all of the work you put in to try and hit somebody with these, unfortunately, just not as big of a deal. Now, if you have two, maybe you can just lock down an area for a little while if you can find a way to hide them. But personally, I don't see a whole lot of trip mines running around a lot of places. So this, again, is, I think, one of those exotics that needs kind of a buff and upgrade, or just trip mines do, one way or the other. As these are gauntlets, we do have fusion rifle loader, hand cannon loader, and impact induction. Causing damage with your melee reduces your grenade cooldown. So lots of things are going to give you a cooldown for your trip mine grenades if that's what you're going with. Also have shotgun scavenger for more ammo when you pick it up, and heavy ammo finder, which is pretty much never a bad thing. For the Warlock, we have the skull. I have no idea. A couple words combined there. Skull of Dire Ahamkara. I think this one actually got a buff. It could be in a pretty good state right now. Provides additional damage resistance during Nova Bomb. So when you throw your Nova Bomb and you're in the process of casting it, you are definitely harder to kill. And then they added this. Nova Bomb kills grant super energy. So say you throw your Nova Bomb at a group of like 10 thrall and you kill them all. Well, depending on how many enemies you kill, or the, difficulty of enemies, if you kill like 4 thrall and then like a major or 2, you have the odds of getting most of your super energy back. If the group is actually big enough and, you do enough to them, you might actually get your full super back. So this was like Obsidian Mind in Destiny 1, and they basically kind of buffed this thing, so it's pretty close to that in Destiny 2. So if you do run Void Bomb, I do actually suggest trying this one out. There's, only so many exotics for each class, and if you're running Void Bomb as opposed to Void Warp, this one is actually a pretty good one. And PvP, it has less benefits, but in PvE, you can get your Nova Bomb back fairly quickly if you hit a big enough target of enemies. So, got bow targeting, hand cannon targeting, and hands-on, so super energy on melee kills. As a Warlock, that's actually more practical than most classes. Shotgun, reserves, and heavy ammo finder. This seems to be a common trend. And then finally we have the Helm of Saint 14. Always a cool helm, always really like how it looks. The perk is Starless Night. Enemies that enter Ward of Dawn are blinded. So first thing, that's pretty good. If forever you're in a tough spot and you need to pop Ward of Dawn to survive, Anything that does run in there is not really going to attack you, so that's a good thing, unless they do a jumping swipe attack or something. When allies pass through it, they get an overshield. Now, this is a pretty cool thing. Say you're in the middle of a raid, and I think people have pretty good strategies now, but if you're in an encounter, people are having struggles, and you're going to run Sentinel, well, instead of running the shield, pop Ward of Dawn, so as people can pass through, they can get like an overshield, and they can have a better chance to survive or have a place to hide if they need some health. I don't see a lot of places where I see Ward of Dawn still being as used as it was in Destiny 1, where this thing had a really good use. But generally, the fact that you get a shield when you pass through it, that's a good thing. If you're going to go for control, this thing will lock down points. Ward of Dawn is really, really, really tough to control, like actually bust. I think Fallout Plays did a really good video showing what would actually break this super, and not much does. If you can run in there with Legend of Acreus, that's about the only way to kill the Titan in there, but supers won't take down the bubble, things like that just don't do enough damage. So it's crazy how powerful Ward of Dawn is. It's pretty dang good. If you guard with Sentinel Shield, it will blind enemies as well. Same thing, bow targeting, hand cannon targeting, hands-on, and then shotgun reserves, and heavy ammo finder. It does seem if there are, 2 helmets that Xur sells, his 2 trees right here do tend to be exactly the same for whatever reason. I don't know. It doesn't match what is in the collection. I was curious if that was a thing. The collection still only has 1 perk here and 1 perk here, so you do get perks, but you just get no choice if you pull it from the collection. But Xur has these for his options. That's just a quick rundown of Xur. He is on IO. If you are going to go for your Fated Engram, make sure before you buy this, before you ever buy this, that you have every single thing that he's selling. Because I can spend basically 100 shards here, buy everything, or if I spend 97 shards here and I don't have one of these pieces and I get one, I just overpaid 4x for the same exact thing. So if you are working on trying to complete your collection, but you are missing something here but not really in love with it, still buy it first and then buy the Fated Engram, because it's so much cheaper to buy it here than up here. But Fated Engram still can be good for some of, though, if you're missing Borealis, missing anything as you're finishing out a 3rd class, something like that. Can still have some benefits, but if you have all the exotics for all your characters, not really a benefit to doing the Fated Engram, because there still are no Forsaken Engrams in there. I would imagine that's probably not going to change until the first piece of the annual pass drops in December, because they still want to make those exotics hard to get, kind of still the challenge. I know the drop rates are low, but they don't want people to just buy them all up and then in like 10 weeks have them all. So I'm honestly kind of okay with Xur not doing too much of giving away the exotics. I just wish he had more purpose. He could use like bounties for masterwork cores, pretty much anything. Give him another purpose on the weekends, give you just something else to do on the weekends that would be cool. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you did enjoy the video, drop a like below. That is always appreciated. You can follow me on Twitch or Twitter. It's always Ebontis everywhere. If you guys will be looking for a couple of videos over the weekend, I'm going to work on a Whisper of the Worms solo run. Going to do it with the Warlock again, so you guys can see that one. I've also got a Hunter that's lower level. I might try it on him as well just to see how that one goes, since I actually haven't boosted him through Forsaken yet. And also I will get Flashpoint. We recorded Flashpoint 34 today with Cognito. Had a really good chat today, good discussions and stuff. So that is just our weekly podcast we do. It's mostly audio, so you can listen to that one, honestly, just kind of in the background of doing other things. Not too much visually on screen, usually just kind of pictures or scrolling through the TWAB so we have something to talk about. Mostly it's audio, though, so if you just alt-tab it and listen to it, nice way to pass some time if you're grinding some stuff out. But the support on the channel has been amazing. Thank you, all of you. Just past 15,000 subs, which is amazing. I'm pretty close, like less than 1,000 away from doubling my subscribers in like a few weeks, which is just blowing my mind. So thank you guys for all of that support. And I will keep the content coming. You guys are pushing me on to get as much out to you guys, so I'm going to try and get quite a few out this weekend. Buddy of mine gets married tomorrow, so shout out to him. Dildrus, if you ever see me playing with him or in videos, he is getting married, so we'll be official to him tomorrow. But to the rest of you guys, if you have not subscribed yet, please do so. Helps me out and lets me know I'm doing good things for you all. So thank you very much for the support. It has been awesome. Leave a comment if you want to say, hey, got questions of anything. But other than that, I will see you in whatever video comes out next on the channel. So follow me and I will keep the stuff coming. Thank you very much. Have an awesome day. I'll see you soon.